I said the roof, the roof is on fire. We don't need any water. Let that mother burn, burn, burn.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop.
auntie that
You can't make this up.
Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lives, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, hello, everybody, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review of 90 Day Fiancé, Season 9, Episode 18, Tell All Part 1. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining this family. And to all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. If I had to rate this tell all, I would rate this tell all a C. Let me know down in the comment box what you would rate this tell all. Let me tell you, Gibberish, aka Sparkle, got on my nerve. I don't know if he was hyped up on something. I don't know if the sparkles in his clothes made him act a complete fool and get in everybody's business. But this mofo absolutely attempted to steal the show until John, aka Patrick's brother, showed up on the scene and set the little boy straight. This mofo has been out here in these streets talking about positivity, light, shining the light. But yet, in my opinion, he attacked everybody that he had an opportunity to attack, aka those people he thought was weaker than him, i.e., the women. While Miona, okay, Miona, okay, sat there and said nothing. Just absolutely uncouth and really showed his age to the point when they went on break, nobody wanted to be around them. They were in a room alone. I'm on my own. Okay? This reunion started off with the hype. Less. So, of course, we have our same old host. I'm not saying that she doesn't do an all right job, but it's just time to do something different. This year, they did attempt to do something different. They had Tim and Kenny, okay, to come on there, and they were doing live reviews behind the scenes. Why they did not ask a content creator to do that, I don't know. But it would have been different, and I think it would have brought more attention to the show. I thought that it was good and something creative, but they're not at liberty to really say what they want to say. It's so tactful and diplomatic, and we don't need that. We need shade, drama, truth, reads. That's what we need. Okay, let's just go ahead and keep it a buck. That's what we need to bring to the show, and we didn't. They tried. Good try. Positive attempt. but they need to bring on content creators who are really going to tell the truth about it. But they started off this episode or this tell all with Sean announcing that there were two people on the cast who were pregnant. And of course, we have already spilled the tea on that here, Auntie's advice months ago, that both Thais and Kara are pregnant. The both of them, I believe, were 16 weeks pregnant at the same time. And so, congratulations to them. They went over to Kobe and Emily and they talked about having their little baby. And it is a girl and her name is Scarlett. And so, congratulations to those three couples on growing their families. Now, of course, we know that there probably was a little bit of controversy around Kobe and Emily's announcement. We have not had an opportunity to see that. I would have liked for them to have followed up on that. But this is 90 Day Fiancé, and they like to close out the season with weddings. I don't know why they're boring. They can do that, in my opinion, in 30 minutes, minus all of the ads. But it is what it is. So the first couple, they started, really in the in backstage because Sparkle was already on high alert. I'm telling you, I don't know what caused him to go off the scale like this, but he came, in my opinion, in attack mode, and I could not understand that other than his lack of maturity, because you need to really allow people to have their say and enjoy this segment without your little young ass coming in every 5 minutes having something to say to every couple. I did not like the fact that he attacked Ariel, okay, and Biniyam. So they announced today that Biniyam basically has his green card and that he's able to work now. Kobe has his and he is working at an asphalt plant. And so, they gave, like little updates and stuff like that. Ariel began to talk about the relationship between her and Biniyam, and was, the jealousy thing came up. When they went around the room, right, and they kind of, caught up with each couple. They caught up with Guillermo and Kara, and I thought that segment was boring, so we won't go into it. They caught up with Biniyam and Shahida, because I've been saying her name wrong the whole time. I've been calling her the wife's name and calling it been vice versa with my ass. Y'all know me and names. So when they went to Bilal and they began to talk to him about Shahida, he indicated that Shahida didn't even live on her own, that she has been living with her parents. He called her naive and, basically dumb, green to everything. And she was like, don't say that on television. And I was shocked because when we saw her and the way that she has been, okay, calm down, Auntie. When we saw her and the way that she has been presenting herself, she was presenting herself as if she had it going on. I mean, going on. Come to find out, she was still living with her parents, had never paid a bill before in her life. And then when he's saying different things to her about, her conduct or trying to help guide her, I guess, she's saying that he's preaching to her. But from what they said, I was going to call her name, but from what he has indicated, she needed the damn help. Probably not so much the OCD type of, everything has to be perfect, the spirit of perfection that's on him. But if she was living with her parents, never paid her own bills, never been out on her own, she's 30, what years old? 37, 35, 37? And she's coming over here like she's grand and wonderful and got it going on and has the audacity. Well, I mean, I guess she should have, but she had the audacity to fight a prenup and say, you got to build my business. No wonder she thought about only a baby and build this. Are you kidding me? Like, that was a shock. We have not, I know I haven't heard that all season, because Girlfriend's been acting like she really had it on. She acting like she really had it going on. And she a whole fake, in my opinion. Y'all see my Wi-Fi is having problems. I don't know what's going on, so I hope I'm not blurring out. But what? I was shockazulu. I couldn't believe it myself. Girlfriend did not have it going on. But we're going to talk about, the little confrontation that happened with that. And so then we go over to Thais and Patrick, and the two of them are living in in Vegas. I guess he moved closer to his mother, and he was like, poor Thais, or whatever her name is. And I'm assuming that the brother is still living with them, despite the fact that she wants him out of the house. Like I said, they kept caught up with Kobe and what you call them, and Yve and Mohamed. So when Ariel started talking about her relationship, so when they caught up with Gibberish, aka Sparkle, and Miona, he was saying that, the two of them are doing well and all of that, but that there's a lot of jealousy around him. And so when Ariel heard him say that, she said, well, is this your mama? Is you saying your mama jealous of you? Like, who's jealous of them? When Robert asked them, Sean, is her name Sean? When Sean asked him, what do you mean jealous? He said, why is everybody jealous? Guess what he said? Y'all ain't gonna believe this. Y'all are not gonna believe this. He said, because we look good together. Bitch, I look good standing beside a tree if I'm at the right angle. What does looks have to do with anything? That again shows his immature. A relationship is not about looks, and neither is jealousy. Who's jealous of the two of them when they had a half of a triangle at their wedding with some buckwheats on it? Help me! I never thought that he was this immature until he got on here. Sometimes you can think a thing about him, but it's a whole different thing when they prove it to be true. He is very immature. So Ariel started talking about the relationship between her and Biniyam. And Sean had asked him, what did he plan to do? He said he wants to be an MMA fighter because he believes that he's the best. And she was trying to say that she supported him and everything. And of course Sparkle jumps into it and says, you are a bad look for him, you're ruining him, your marriage isn't going to last, and all this. And she was like, but you sat your ass there and said that your own mother is jealous of you. And he said, so are you saying my mother's jealous of me? She said, well, that's what you just said out of your mouth. And she said, and he said, and she said, and since I'm jealous, then I know what jealousy looks like. Why he decided to attack her. And so Sean was like, Sparkle, do you think that their marriage is not going to work? He said, I know it's not. You don't know anything. And the thing about it is, all of my mature girlfriends, and I'm talking about my mature girlfriends, they don't put their mouths negatively on anybody's marriage because they know that marriage is hard, and they know that you get back what you put out of your mouth. So when we see the two of them separate and she goes on to some man that got money and ain't got to hustle and sell his ass on Instagram, he's going to remember those words that he said to her. Because see, he's married and he has a woman out there who wants much more than what he can provide to her, in my opinion. So for him to sit there and come against that particular couple the way that he did, he gonna pay for that. But see, he's young and dumb and doesn't know what to say out of his mouth and doesn't know how to protect his own marriage. You protect your own marriage by keeping your mouth off of others. And of course, she's going back and forth with him. And I'm thinking to myself, don't go back and forth with him about nothing. He's a kid. He's a whole ass child. So they begin to start talking to Guillermo and Kara about their relationship, and they were saying that she was controlling. He was still saying that she was controlling, but they're managing to get along. They said sometimes they get along, sometimes they don't. They're still processing through this, but of course the two of them are together. And so Patrick jumped in that conversation and said that he believed that she is condescending towards him, specifically about the computer, instead of her saying, well, you know, what it was. She said, let's start with a toothbrush. And she felt like she was saying or articulating to him, let's start with something small. But to Patrick and the rest of the cast, they felt like she was being condescending. And Patrick said, like most American women, being controlling. And so the question came out on whether or not the cast members or women who bring men over on the K1 visa are controlling. They're bringing them over here. Yes, they are controlling because they're the only one that's making money at the time. And so I do agree that Emily was controlling. I believe that Yve was controlling. I believe that Kara was controlling. I believe that a lot of these women who bring these men over here are absolutely controlling. Some of it may be because they have a controlling nature, but most of it, in my opinion, is because they're the breadwinners. They're the ones who's making the money, and so they make the decisions about the money. But Patrick said that American women are controlling. And so what is he going to do? Have his foot on Thias' neck the whole relationship? I don't think so. I do not think so. When they begin to talk to this couple about the pregnancy and about where they are in their relationship, of course, he said that they was in Vegas, but he said that he was shocked that she was pregnant. And so when asked why was he shocked that she was pregnant, he indicated because of the steroids that he said that he was on. He had no sperm. Now, at least Angela had one egg. He said he didn't have any. And he said it was because of his use of drugs, those enhancement drugs that he indicated that he was using. So when she said that she was pregnant when they were in Brazil, he said he knew it won't no way. Okay. So now that she came over here, she said when, she believed she was pregnant, she took 6 pregnancy tests to confirm that she was pregnant. And then she had him to set up a gynecologist appointment for her under false pretense. She had her girlfriend go with her to the appointment to confirm that she indeed was pregnant. And so he was shocked and he's, happy and all that kind of stuff. So it was what it was. When are we going to go back to Kara and Guillermo? They had Kara's old boyfriend to come out there and he looked like I just was like, what? He had his hair all long. He had this goofy hat on. And he just looked like, like one of those typical rock stars or whatever, kind of country-ish type of look to him. He was doing the most and saying the least. He was talking about the relationship between him and Kara. Kara apologized to him because she just dropped him. She totally dropped him. And she did not tell him that when she finished college, she said she was finished with everything. She was finished with all the relationships and stuff like that she was into and all that. And so he was trying to indicate that Guillermo wasn't a real man and that he could not handle Kara. But Guillermo was like, you can say what you want to say. I got the girl at this point. I mean, he don't have her. And Guillermo said that his mother told him, be a man, and he's been a man. And I think that he's doing a fantastic job with her, being able to articulate and say what it is that he was a waste of time. I don't even know why they brought him out there. Like, I really don't know why they brought him out there. He made no sense at all. So we end up talking to Yve and Mohamed. Mohamed said that, since he has been adjusting, okay, to American life, that he no longer tries to regulate what Yve wears and that he doesn't care anything about what Yve is wearing. He a whole ass lie. The reason why he backed up off of that because he knew that there was a possibility, in my opinion, that he was going to lose her. He was pushing too hard. And when he talked to his mother said, "Don't you fuck up the bag. You act like you got some sense. Stop pressing that woman out. Go and get some flowers and get a ring. Get down on your knees and solidify this deal." Now, we have all seen emails and all kinds of stuff. Okay, y'all don't duck. Okay, I'll tell y'all when to duck. I don't know, what it is. Don't duck. I'll tell you what. So he, said that he, has never told her, the cast star saying, "Well, you was telling her what to wear and whoop, whoop, whoop." And he said, "I never told her to take the stuff off." And so Sean was like, "Well, didn't you tell her to put a jacket up over her thong?" And he was like, "Yeah." But then Eve, on the other hand, was embarrassed by the pictures that he sent to his family. So he indicated that he shared a picture of her, one of her Instagram pictures with his mom and them, and she said that she was embarrassed and wondering what had he shown them. So I'm just saying, grown woman to grown woman, if you're gonna have it all the way out there, Eve, claim it. Walk in it, boo. Be confident. You shouldn't be ashamed of his mother saying anything, since you're a grown-ass woman and you can do what you want, and this is America. So she was saying that she was having a hard time making the adjustments and stuff like that because this is her country. Now, this is what Eve said. He trying to run her in her. So, of course, they bring out one of the girlfriends, and the girlfriend is out there talking about the relationship, and he won't let her get a word in edgewise because he was saying that they were disrespectful because of the conversation. He said you can talk about, the going to bed with each other and all of that kind of stuff. She was like, these are the kind of conversations that we have. But now we find out after Eve has gone off this tell-all and everything that it allegedly he had a whole other woman, and that's why he didn't care. He was allowing her to do what she wanted to do, wear what she wanted to wear, not put any pressure on because no, Emily is not pregnant again. Emily already had her baby. You must be late. Emily had a baby by the name of Scarlett. She is not pregnant again. So I don't know why I saw that. Sometimes I see stuff. Let me take my glasses off. So he felt disrespected by the conversation that they were having. And that's because he is a Muslim man and he, came from a different country. And so they were talking about Eve and Eve dressing sexy. And of course, Sparkle had to jump in there and say, she shouldn't be wearing a bathing suit. And of course, he's, here in America and trying to adjust. And, if he asked Kara, because Kara said, "I don't think that anybody should have a right to tell somebody what they can and cannot wear." And so Sunshine jumps in and say, "Have you ever been to Egypt? Have you ever been? Because I've been twice. And it's not like you walking up and down the street seeing women in bikinis or bathing suits unless you on a resort somewhere." So, he's making the adjustment. And then he speaks to him in his native tongue and says, "Thanks, my brother," or whatever he said to him, because he feels like he's done a great job and she's inappropriate for wearing that. Again, if she's wearing those clothes here in the United States, he need to make the adjustment and he shouldn't say anything about it. If they've already have a conversation about this, Sparkle, sit your ass down and mind your business. That's why I've been calling him gibberish, and everything he said tonight was complete baby talk. Somebody should have went and got, swung out okay, and breastfed him and gave him a pacifier. Sit down in your high chair and let the grown folk talk out here. What a ignorant little boy. And then you on Instagram talk about light and love and being positive and can't take somebody like Auntie reading your ass, okay? And you don't want me to say anything to me, but you out there talking about everybody on the cast and getting everybody business. They never was even able to complete a subject. But I noticed when Kobe talked and when Bilal talked, he had to say. Because, see, he didn't want to get checked by them. Now, I don't know if y'all picked that up, but when the two black men said something on the cast, he didn't open his mouth up. And that's probably because he got not only mama issues, he got daddy issues too. Because the daddy that's on it is his stepdaddy. Where's his real daddy? So evidently he saw them as father figures. Y'all ain't got to believe me, but that boy got some serious daddy issues. And those daddy issues have trickled over to his mother. And he has the audacity to talk to somebody about anything, and he was living on with his mama. He ain't say nothing to them two black men. Kobe and Bilal could have did whatever they wanted to do on that stage, and he wouldn't have said a damn thing about it. Miona was asked whether or not she felt like, she was the rift between, his mom, or did she think that the mama was jealous? And she was like, but I do, there was, some girl, there was, some uncomfortableness, and y'all together because y'all look good. Looks fade. Beauty vanishes. It's all vain. Sunshine. He sunned him. He sat his butt up there and came after John Patrick's brother, and he sunned him on a national television. He put that little young boy in his place. Yes, he did. And I was quite proud of John, whether he was drunk or not. So they bring John out. John talks about the pregnancy. He leaked the pregnancy to someone. Someone reached out to Thais on a social media platform and said congratulations. She said congratulations for what? And she said on your pregnancy. So her pregnancy was released before on social media before she even had an opportunity to tell her family. John said he was drunk. And he just accidentally leaked it. He don't even remember when. He don't remember how. He just know he leaked it. He knows he did. And so, Sunshine or Sparkles said, are you drunk now? How many beers have you had? He said, well, I was drunk last night. I had 6. Well, you act like you got a whole 12 back. He said, do you still live with your mama? Do you still live with your mama? He said, man, get up off the brassicas. Get off the brassicas first before you say anything. Sparkles. He said, with your clothes sparkling and everything. And so he was like, yeah, sparkling like your head. He was like, good, Sparkles. So, he's like trying to come at him, and he's a vet at reading. He says, I'm a confrontational person. I don't mind having a confrontation. If you come for me, I'm coming back for you. I'm going to light your ass up. And he called him Sparkles and sunned him right on television. And he sunned him to the point that now Sparkles doesn't want him to come on the set in part 2. You got sunned. Now you scared. Now you don't want to deal with John because John sunned you like that and put your little young ass in your place and in the back. And you gonna talk about what you gonna do and how you gonna put the paws on somebody? John said, I saw you with your little girlfriend, your little friend, your boyfriend. I know what you got, and I ain't scared, Sparkles. Bring it, Sparkles. But one of the things that he said when he was talking about the MMA and Sparkles was going at Ariel, he said, I will fight you for $100,000. Why would you fight the woman? Why would you fight Ariel? She's not the one that you need to be fighting. You need to be fighting whatever his name is. My mind is racing. But if I'm not mistaken, he offered up Ariel. Out of control. Because you can't articulate, you can't use your words. So I don't know if he was propositioning Biniyam or Ariel, but in my opinion, I thought that he was propositioning her. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what y'all think about it, but I thought that it was absolutely disrespectful, and I could not believe that Biniyam didn't say anything. He ended up confirming something that Jibri said, but I just was like, what in no Kobe, because they was talking about jealousy and her being jealous, and she was saying that she wasn't. He was saying that you gonna hold a Biniyam back and not make him successful, and she said he is successful because he has people like me in his life who is encouraging him. She said, so he said, no, you downplayed his career in the beginning. And she was like, well, no, what I was telling him to do was be realistic. But it did come off horrible. It did look like she was not supporting Biniyam. And she knows that. And that's why she gets so mad about it. But the cast in the back, when they all went and took a break, they absolutely did not like the way that Sparkles handled it. Gibberish. And he was talking about it being hot on the set when he was the one that was really, the hottest, because he was immature and in everybody's business. But then he gonna say something to John about John is not going to be happy that the two of them are together. And John clearly wants them to be happy. But, he do be picky and patty. But so Biniyam tells him the two of them are going to be happy together, but you're going to be lonely. You can't make a prediction like that. I'm telling you, y'all, when he and Miona have their problems and it spills over into social media, I'm going to read him. Because all this stuff he is absolutely bringing upon himself. The couple that brought the most drama to me was Bilal and Shaeeda. So Bilal and Shahida were talking about the OCD and the way that he handles things. The conversation came up with the cast about when she was putting her hands on Bilal and the way, the incident that happened in the car. They thought that he overreacted to it. He said that he is never and will never put a woman out on the side of the road. But Bilal, you said and did that right after the girl got here. You did it after she got here. But the thing about it is she still decided to be with him no matter what. So you ask yourself, why did she stay? If things was that bad, she should have got out of the relationship. So they were talking about the cleaning and all of that, and everything he had an answer for. So Ariel said, Bilal, every time something is said, you have an answer to it. And Patrick said, you're seeing a salesman. And I said, God dang it, that's what it is. He said a salesman is taught to always have a rebuttal or have some kind of defense. He said he is a master salesman, and that is what we've been seeing out of him. He has been selling himself to these women. You look at a man like him who is on his third marriage. And I know that people, have multiple marriages for one reason or the other. But there is something that he is bringing consistently to each one of the relationships. She does not look happy. She's, in my opinion, playing the game and trying to get what she can get out of him. Because of the other marriages that he was in, he is making her pay for. Okay? What he has experienced in those other relationships. Do y'all know when she made the agreement on the prenup and had him put a business, help her build her business and to give her a baby, that she never put in a clause indicating the what ifs? If this doesn't happen, this is how you're going to repay me. If this doesn't happen, this is the resolution for that, and this is how I'm going to walk away whole, because a prenup is supposed to make both of them walk away whole. Her wholeness was baby, career. But then you don't have anything in there that says, if he does not do this within this certain amount of time, this is how I'm going to walk away whole. She said, no, it's nothing in there. So you wasted your time putting it in there. No wonder he agreed, because all you did was make a stipulation without a resolve. What is the resolution? What do you get out of this? How are you going to be made whole? Litigating civilly is being made whole based on something that has happened to you or didn't happen. But if you don't have a clause in there saying, in the event that he does not give me a baby at 40, I walk away with $5 million in restitution. This is how I'm going to be made whole. She don't have none of that in the prenup. Nothing. No penalty. Nothing. No restitution. That's why he called her green. That's why he said she's naive. So when asked about the way he treats her, the wanting everything to be perfect, her saying that he, feels like, he has to always preach to her and correct her, he had an answer for everything until Patrick said, he's a salesman. This is what you're seeing. He's selling her a dream. And he's always going to have a rebuttal. And Thias, they said, kind of how you treat Thias? He said, yeah. Patrick said, I'm a salesman. And so I know how to sell myself in a product. And I was like, he wrapped him up in a nice little bubble with a cute bow on it and gave us that answer that we all have been searching for. He hit the nail on the head. He has been selling this girl a dream, in my opinion. And he realized what he had. He realized that she wasn't like an American woman, and that's what Bilal said out his mouth. She's not like a American woman who's been 35 and 37 and on their own. He realized exactly what he had. She said that Bilal said she was aggressive in the car. She said, oh, you ain't never seen me aggressive. And then, honey, Shahida came out. Shahida came out with her pink dress on and her wrap on her head, and she really looked beautiful. She said, I am here to set the record straight, and by the time I finish, they both going to be apologizing to me. But, honey, I'm telling you, I was so mad because they did not let it play. Whatever it is that she had to say out there never hit the air. And I was like, what is it that she is talking about? It's got to be something about those kids. We missed the whole entire conversation. When she came out there and sat in that seat, Shaida's whole personality changed. She was sitting with Bilal and she was like, and I noticed, you noticed, and Sean noticed, she would not look at Shahida at all. She said that Bilal and Shahida have a good relationship, and she brought her out there, and she was start talking. And Sean said, I don't, Shada, I noticed that since Shahida's been out here, you haven't even looked at her. You haven't even turned your face to acknowledge that the woman is here. Well, Sean, to be honest, I did not like the way that she came into my kitchen and talked to me. I'm still angry about that. Shahida said, well, basically what she's saying is I came and I disrespected her. But I stand by what I said, and I said what I said. He needed to have a prenup because you ain't got no assets. How dare you say that I don't have any assets? You don't know what I had in my country. You don't know what I had back home. Shahida said, I know you ain't got no car. You ain't got no land. You don't have any property. You don't have anything here in the United States. I know that. And he needed to protect the children. And I came over there. I said what I said, and I ain't taking it back. And before I take it back, I'll add more to it. Shada. And you ain't got to look at me. I'm looking at you. What? You felt disrespected? So then Sean started asking her, about the marriage and why they got a divorce. And she was like, I understand from the law that, someone fell out of love. And she was like, it was me. And she was like, what happened in the marriage? And she was like, I was with him for 10 years, 10 long years. And this man tried to run me and regulate everything. I tried to work with him. He wanted the house to be perfect. He wanted everything perfect. And having 2 young kids, it was too much. She said, so who asked for the divorce? She said, I did. I wanted out. So she said, well, Shada, it appears that what Shahida is saying is the same thing you're going through. Controlling, preachy, naggy, wants you to be grateful, all of that kind of stuff. She said, I'm not going to ignore what Shahida is saying. And I know that he is hearing it, and that negatively, of course, he it's probably hurting him to hear it, but I'm hoping that now that he's heard it, that he's learned something, and that he's going to change. I'm not going to give up on my man, and I'm not going to give up on my dreams of having a yoga studio. Girl, this man has not changed and is not going to change because he didn't have to. And you're here in the United States and you signed a prenup. When they brought that prenup conversation up, every couple in the room mouth was on the floor because they had been seeing this for the first time. Some of them, their mouths were on the floor. And even the thought of having a prenup agreement. So Shahida said what she said, and she was asked about the house and how she felt like Shada had responded to the house. She said, I just felt bad for him because I lived in that house for 2 years. I was just grateful to have a house. She said she lived it for 2 years. And she was uppity and felt like she was, all that and a bag of chips. And she was, coming here from another country and was being ungrateful. And you know what Shada said? Well, opinions are like noses. Everybody has one. I said noses. It's not noses, it's the behold. But I know you're trying to keep it on a high level, but it didn't stick. The joke didn't stick. I can't wait until next week when they get up into Sparkle's business, Mr. Gibberish. Because he got away this week. We did not hear from him. We didn't go in depth about him. We didn't go in depth about Kobe. And we did not go in, who else? Ariel. So next week should be very interesting. I'm hoping that Sparkles, since he got sunned on national television, sits down and shut the hell up. I'm hoping that they gave him a pacifier and a warm bottle of milk so they could calm his little baby ass down. He was just a disgrace, in my opinion, and just delusional. Just delusional. And really showed that he nothing but a baby. Anyway, y'all, this is the end of my review about the tell all. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me know down in the comment section what y'all thought about this episode. What did you rate it? Who did you like? Who did you get more clarity on? Just go ham in the comment section and let me know what y'all think about it. Thank you all so much for being here. I love y'all to pieces and have a fantastic night. Be safe, y'all.